Alright guys, welcome back. So for this Friday Night Chats video, I was originally going to talk about my PC and show off my PC and talk about how goddamn hard it was to put together! But I decided against that because I felt like it'd be too short of a video and not very exciting. And I already tried to film this video once, which I did for like 20 minutes and then decided it was a disaster, and I'm now refilming it, so it'll make more sense. So I just wasted 20 minutes of my life, but oh well. So for this Friday Night Chats day, it's a... Alright guys, welcome back. This is not going like I wanted to. You know what, I'm just going to refilm this. This is a disaster. So for this Friday Night Chats video, I'm now going to be talking about various topics, but this isn't going to be a very long video. I'm going to make this the normal duration for a Friday Night Chats video. So what I'm going to be talking about are like those cringe compilations, like the ones on YouTube. The compilations of people doing weird things or creepy things. Now, most of these cringe compilations I find actually cringy, and some are just funny. But there are quite a few, or at least the little clips that they have in them, I feel like are a bit out of place, and some I even feel are a bit, I guess I'll word it as in poor taste or distasteful, I think, but mostly for the fact that some of them, as in very few of them, but some of them seem to be using people's mental disorders and social disorders or things like that as entertainment because of the way some of these compilations are worded and things like that. So yes, one in particular was one I saw yesterday that was apparently what it looked like of some guy who was either maybe live streaming or filming himself and having either a mental breakdown of some kind or nervous breakdown or emotional distress of some kind. And at some point, what I'm assuming are his parents, come in. And this guy seems a bit older. He looked to be in his 20s, but I could be wrong. But yes, what seemed to be his parents come in and actually ask him, why are you filming yourself having a breakdown on the internet or something like that? And it seems as if the father understands what he's doing, but the mother's like, wait, what was he doing? So I just felt like the fact that, and I forgot the channel name, but I felt like the fact that this channel, or the channel that made the compilation, I feel like including that clip was a bit distasteful, I'll say. I'm not sure how to word this correctly. And on a side note, because of my ADD, I am incredibly tired right now. So if it looks like I'm going out of it or fluttering my eyeballs, I'm not on drugs, I'm not taking anything, and I'm not having a medical emergency. I'm just very tired. Of course, I'm the only guy who can sleep 7 to 9 hours at a time and still be tired as shit. I just feel like some of these cringe compilations are making fun of people with mental disorders and anxiety disorders and things like that. I'm not trying to be super PC or anything like that, but I'm not trying to do all that shit. Don't care about all that shit. That's just my thoughts on it. So yeah. So moving on from that to something similar that are also in the cringe compilation category are And I know this is a very touchy subject, even at this, especially probably at this point, which is why I almost didn't talk about them, and why I haven't talked about them so far. Because one of my biggest concerns is, I'll say something, I'll mess up and say something that'll get the entire dead internet on my ass. Yeah, I'm just very tired. I don't want to be another PewDiePie. That was a cluster on the whole, and more specifically within the social justice warrior kind of thing, which I never understood. Of course, I always feel like I'm a 22-year-old in a 62-year-old's mind. I'm going more specific, like the whole fat acceptance movement and body positivity and things like that. So, body positivity, I believe, is a good thing. Because I, like probably many people, have had and do have issues with their weight and body type and things like that. As most of you guys can probably tell just from looking at my head and neck and like my sternum area there, I'm quite a round individual, I shall say. AKA, it looks like I have swallowed a giant boulder in my stomach. But I'm not so overweight that it's a massive health hazard. I'm sure I have health issues because I'm slightly overweight anyway, but yeah. So, body positivity is a good thing. I think people should be comfortable with their bodies to an extent, which I'll get into in a second. To an extent, because people with conditions like body dysmorphia or body image issues in general tend to have, I would imagine, other mental conditions as well, or at least some. But when I say good to a point, I mean to a point unless you're trying to say that unless your body weight and or BMI are so high that they're unhealthy. Because if your body weight's too high, it's unhealthy. Like if you're 300, 400, 500 pounds, even 600, like those shows on cable, that is obviously very unhealthy for you. That's not a healthy body weight. That's not a healthy type of body. But being underweight to like 80, 70, 60, that's also an unhealthy weight. That's a very unhealthy weight for obvious reasons. So, in terms of the fat acceptance kind of movement, I do not agree with fat acceptance. I think it's a detrimental kind of thing to try to put on people. I think it's a detrimental ideal, because if you are fat in the medical sense of the term, you are likely overweight, as I am myself, or slightly overweight in my case. And obviously, being overweight is not good for your health. It comes with all the health risk, like heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, stuff like that. Which I'm not sure what my personal risk is, because I haven't had those tests done yet. Well, like I've said, that is my personal thing on fat acceptance. I disagree with it because I think it's a bad idea to teach people. I don't agree with fat acceptance. I think instead of trying to say, "Oh, I'm fat and I'm fat and I'm proud of it," I think people should be saying, "Okay, I am overweight, so perhaps I should do something about it. Perhaps I should use my time and energy to getting to a good body weight." So yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without sounding hypocritical, and I'm not trying to do that. Because, as I've said, I myself have weight issues and body issues and things like that. Like about 4 years ago, I was quite overweight, or however overweight 225 to 230 pounds was, however overweight that is. And over the course of the summer of 2013, I lost a good bit of weight, or at least to myself I did. So I'm of the mindset that if I can lose a decent bit of weight, anyone can, if they like truly go at it. And I mean losing a healthy amount of weight in a healthy way. Like, what I did was cut out pretty much most of the sugar in my diet. I cut out most of the soda. And I started eating healthier foods. And I also started exercising, which I haven't been able to do for quite a while this year because I've been watching my siblings, so I haven't had time to go to the gym. But, yes. So I'm not some kind of health nut or anything like that. And I'm not trying to say that I'm some kind of like arrogant prick or whatever. I'm just saying fat acceptance is a bad ideal. I think it's an unhealthy ideal that we should be teaching people. We should be teaching people how to manage their weight, because that's healthy. Managing your weight is a good thing. And I'm not saying any of this is bad. Obviously, if I could have it a way, I would have it where everybody was comfortable with themselves, because that's what everybody should be. But obviously, people aren't. So hopefully this made sense. Hopefully this whole thing made sense. I'm not sure if this made any sense. I'm not going to refilm this again because I've already tried to film it once. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm very tired. I don't know if any of what I just said made sense. Nor do I know if anything I ever say ever on this channel makes sense. Because I don't make sense. But, regardless, if it did make sense to you, and you did see the points that I was trying to hopefully make, and hopefully I didn't come across as anything bad or whatever. Hopefully I didn't come across as, like, saying anything bad about anybody, because I'm not that kind of person. I don't like to do that. So, hopefully not. So, if you understood what I was trying to say, and hopefully this made sense to you at all, you guys can give this video a like, a dislike, a comment, a hate comment, whatever you want. I don't care. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.